Welcome back to my live stream. I live streamed a little earlier today, so if you didn't catch it, you can see me tackling a part of the script I was a little intimidated to rough out, and it ended up going okay. So here's hoping this next part goes okay as well. It's an equally kind of challenging page, and so we'll just kind of have to see how that goes. As usual, when I do these streams kind of during the afternoon or during the day, you're going to hear a lot of like family and stuff like that in the background because I do have a family and they're kind of hanging out. So as you can hear and see. So anyhow, we're going to get into this and let's get into working on comics. So the comic that I'm working on is called Not Death But Love, the Strange Supernatural Story of Elizabeth Barrett Browning. And we're going to be working on thumbnailing and roughing out page 53 of the script. So, so far, so good. We'll see how this goes. So let's get to our stream. Gary Hodges is joining us and said he's back. Yes, I am. Back with a bang. So here we go. Had some dinner, had a very brief nap, and I'm ready to rock and roll. So hopefully you guys are ready for this as well. So as usual, on the left is the thumbnail that I'll be working on and the rough I'll be working on. This is the rough we finished on the last stream. And then below is the section of script that we need to work on for now. So I'm going to actually make a quick copy. Let's just merge visible. I'm going to make a quick copy of this because we might need to refer to this on the next page. So I'm going to use that just to be able to reference where we're at so far in the script. Okay, so let's get into the next section of script. The section of script that I have to work from is right below me. And again, where I work will be on the left. On probably your right this way. So the first thing I do when I'm working on a script is I break down what the script says. I try to break it down by actions. My little light just dropped a little bit. I try to break it down by actions that need to take place on the page. So now we've got, on the previous page, we had Chapel Hill, Twickenham, London, and then we were introduced in the parlor to an intimate reading with Lord Tennyson, and he's reading "I Hold It True, Whatever Befall." Keith Harper's joining us as well. He said hello again. Hi, Keith. How you doing? Hope you guys are having a productive and creative day. I hold it true, whatever befalls. Let me know in the chats too what you guys are working on. I feel it when I sorrow most. 'Tis better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. And then everybody claps. Tennyson bows. And now we're on to this page. So this page is I'm going to go ahead and make a layer called list. I have a bunch of my other references compiled too from the previous. But this will be the list. And by the way, this is going to be, if I show extras, since this is an odd page, it's going to be on the right side. And I've copied that template over, which is very helpful. So anyhow, okay, here we go. Tennyson is going to now raise an inviting hand towards Robert. So that's number one. Tennyson invites Robert. Okay. Mr. Browning, perhaps something from your impending volume. That's Tennyson. Robert rises from the sofa and puts his hand over his heart. So 2, Robert rising from sofa. 3 could be our hand on heart. that could all be condensed into one too. We'll have to kind of see how that plays out when I thumbnail it. Okay, Robert's going to say, Mr. Tennyson, I am honored. That's our dialogue. Okay, and then he hesitates, looking at guests for approval. 4, looks to guests. And then we've got a heckler. And the heckler is going to put his hands to his mouth and say, let's have it, Browning. So 5, heckler. Let's have it, Browning. So I think that this is actually might just be almost the exact opposite of the previous page's layout, where we might start with a wide shot. This will be T dialogue. Okay, so now we got to do a little thumbnail. So I was going to do a thumbnail on here, but I don't need to. I'll do it here instead. Keith said, working out an idea for a mini comic, trying to learn Procreate, so the mini comic will give me a project to learn by doing. Nice. Mini comics are awesome, and learning by doing is the way to do it. That's the way I've learned every program, is having an objective, like a little, I don't know, just like a project. Because if you have a project, it's like way easier to kind of absorb the lessons you'll learn. Gary says, I'm pushing through, trying to finish page 34 of Dinosaurs versus Marsbots 1979 today, a day behind. Ooh. Okay, so here we go. So we've got number 1 is going to be him inviting Robert. I think that should actually be a literal repeat of the first. So I like the idea of him turning to Robert. Okay, so Robert's going to be here. Elizabeth, the artist guy. And this is going to be him inviting. An inviting hand is more like, come here. And this will be the same. And I think this guy is going to be our heckler. Okay. So that'll be the first, where he's saying, Mr. Browning, perhaps something from your impending volume. Now we've got Robert rising from the sofa. I want this to be a different view, so we see a little bit of the parlor, a little bit more of the parlor. So maybe this will be Tennyson. And this is going to be Robert getting up. Robert's going to be getting up from the couch. Maybe we have Elizabeth sitting here, looking up. Now maybe this will be Robert. This is going to be him saying, Mr. Tennyson, I'm honored. And then we'll have Robert kind of look over to the crowd. Or look to the guests. Maybe here. So heckler is going to be saying, let's have it, Browning. This is Robert standing, people sitting. This is a thumbnail, by the way. Let's see here. I like the idea of that original guy being, okay, now I've got it. Go back to the wide shot. I was liking the idea of that specific dude being the heckler, but we need to go back to that wide shot. So it'll be Robert here. He's going to be kind of startled. Not too much by the heckler. And this will be him saying, "Let's have it, Browning." Just trying to establish that it's a much bigger scene than before. So this will be, "Let's have it, Browning," there. And then this will be Tennyson. Tennyson standing by the couch. Okay, I think that's going to work. So we have our thumbnail kind of loosely roughed out, our little thumbnail of what our final scene is going to look like. And now I can do what I need to kind of make this work. So there's our thumbnail. We'll call this layer thumbnail. Okay. So for this first part, this is me just coming up with borders and stuff. So let's go ahead and work out the borders for this thumbnail based on the thumbnail we already have. So we know this is going to be about the same height as the previous one, which is about half that much. It's about that long. That's about the right height. And then we know that these next ones need to be symmetrical and quite a bit bigger. Let's see here. Okay. Now we can start getting these a little bit closer to where they need to be. Much better. Okay. And we want these to be just a little bit taller. Cool. So we're getting our borders going. And I think this will work pretty well for our borders. Just to kind of fill out the border areas for the rough. Again, we're just working on roughs right now. And full disclosure, this is another page that I'm slightly intimidated about roughing out. It's a scary page. And I feel like whenever you read script and there's a lot of actions that need to be depicted, that's one of the most scary things. Keith said, I learned that shaving off my goatee makes my iPad Face ID not recognize me. Oh, that scares me. That's a good point. I think if I shaved my beard, I wouldn't be recognized by my my phone. Another reason to not have my beard gotten rid of. Because every once in a while, when you have a beard, you know, it is tempting. Okay, in this case, we're going to do exactly that. Kind of repeat this page. So I like the idea of kind of repeating the page let's get rid of the claps. And we're going to have this here. We're just using this as like a base to form parts over. But all of these people are basically going to need to be looking to Robert. So first it'll be Elizabeth, kind of looking to him. Her head's going to be tilted. And her arms are going to be down. More or less wearing her hand. This guy is going to be looking at us. We need to see his little portrait again just to get him. Okay, that's the face we're drawing here. Or roughing, I should say. He needs a much broader forehead. His hand will be down too. He was going to be sort of sitting there. Okay. We know this is going to be that lamp. Similar thing. This time Tennyson, who we're going to have to get our picture of Tennyson. Let's try the drawing. I need to label that drawing too so I don't keep losing the drawing. Christopher Runciman said, hey, that looks good. Hi, everybody. Hi, Christopher. How's it going? We're just sort of blocking out the rough for this. Okay. And then Elizabeth's back will be here. We're kind of blocking it out here. We're just doing roughs. I think Mai was a little astonished that they had poetry readings back in the day.
No, hecklers.
Oh, hecklers at poetry readings.
Really?
So let's see here. that guy's going to be important for the next part. But here we're going to draw Tennyson. I like the idea of Tennyson having a minor movement here. He is now going to be sort of gesturing to Robert. Didn't like that hand for a second there. Going to be gesturing to Robert. His arm to his side. Arms to his side. Actually, both his arms out. And this is going to be Tennyson saying, Tennyson's going to be saying, Mr. Browning, perhaps something from your... So here he's going to say, let's try that. Mr. Browning. I like the idea that this guy's head turned to... Got our heckler over here already pre-situated for this sequence. Perhaps something from your impending volume. Something from your impending volume. From your impending volume. Christopher Runciman was asking, I like that you have resourced all of your reference and formatting unified into what looks like one place. Are you drawing with a mouse or a digital pen? I use like a cheap old Wacom. That's my favorite way of doing this. It's just a, what is it? An Intuos Pro. So here we go. So actually better to have the tail there. Okay, and then we know this is going to be kind of a scene. Let's turn on that parlor, other parlor. Other parlor. Yep. And this will be pretty much a similar scene from the other side. So there we go. Know that this is going to be a rough area of the couch. Okay. Add a little bit of shading, not a ton, just a rough. But at least this is giving us a good view of what's going on. Okay, now let's take a look at our thumbnail again. Where did I put my thumbnail? I think it's right there. Okay, so now we need a shot that's going to be a little different. I want to show the other side of the parlor, which I'd like to be somewhat like this. And through the parlor, that archway is going to be a library, which I think I have here. So that's kind of what I'm going to try to indicate on these two things. So, okay, got our library kind of through that. And that'll be intimidating as all hell, but that's okay. So now we're going to have Robert with his hand on his heart, and we're going to show a little bit of, just a little bit of this scene. Let me move that library over so I can kind of see what's going down, because that doorway is going to be important for later on. Okay, so we'll have Tennyson. Let's take a look at Tennyson. That profile is going to be pretty important. Okay. This is going to be Tennyson's face. Lord Tennyson is going to be, he has a bit of a very specific kind of nose. Tennyson will here be, and I know that his beard is much shorter at this state, just based on that drawing. So he's only got like a kind of goatee going on, which will be good for us to know for the future. But it's also good to know for now. And maybe we have just a little bit of hair here. Okay. Tennyson. Check. Got our Tennyson part done. Now we're going to have Robert feigning. Not even feigning, really. He's going to be just a little shocked. And Robert's going to be saying, "Mr. Tennyson, I am honored." That's our dogs. They hear something. Sorry about all the dogs barking. That's part of our world here. Okay, this is going to be Robert saying, "Mr. Tennyson, I am honored." Robert with his beard and hair. He's going to have his Hand across his heart. My goodness. Hand across his heart. Let's try doing those a little bit better. And this is going to be Robert's just getting up from his place. This is him standing up. We're going to have that same sort of couch, very fancy Victorian couch. Elizabeth will be here, sort of looking up. It's her long hair. Here it's Elizabeth again. Christopher said, oh, yeah, the reference comment. Thank you. Sorry, I had already attended to that. What are you working on, Christopher? I hope you're having a good work week, good work day. Elizabeth, I want to see what I was going to have her wearing. I was going to have her wearing something pretty cool. I can't quite. There it is. Just so I can draw it out a little better. Okay. So Elizabeth is going to be wearing this outfit, which I think has like a little thing. It sort of buttons at the top and sort of goes back. I'm going to have her hands kind of clasped almost. And then we need our strange fellow. Forgetting this artist's name. What is his name? It's a famous Dante Gabriel Rossetti. Dante will be here. Just barely. He's going to be kind of blocked off. Okay, Rossetti's going to be here. He's going to be wearing his cloak thingy. So they're going to be on the couch. And the couch arches on each side. There's a window here. Mr. Tennyson, I am honored. And again, this is going to be the check out our parlor. Okay, so it's the other side of that window. So we're going to just kind of imagine this window, the other side of it. Okay. And pretty soon, so now we need to add a little bit of shading. And we're about 2 roughs through this. That'll be our little archway. How this is all going to connect. This will just be shadowing. Cool. We have quite a bit of this done. Now we have to get on to the next thumbnail. So I'm going to save, and then real quick, since we've finished 2 panels, I'm going to go ahead and play a trailer. This one will be, let's see here. Yeah, I think I'll do this trailer. All right. I think this is Philip's awesome trailer.
Hi, my name is Phil Chandler. I'm a freelance artist, illustrator, and cartoonist. Today, though, however, I want to tell you about a graphic novel I picked up recently called Jacob's Apartment. This book was both written and beautifully illustrated by Joshua Kemble. It is the story of a doomed romance that causes the main character to question his beliefs and his faith, while he's also going through other tragedies in his life. Every page has been illustrated by hand and digitally colored with painstaking detail. It is an emotional story that causes you to think and even question things in your own life. And while the story is a tragedy, it is one that I was completely entertained by and I highly recommend. You can currently find this on Amazon or even check in with your local bookstore and see if you can order it. And while you're at it, you can also check out my Instagram at Phil Chandler Arts and also my YouTube channel by the same name, Phil Chandler Arts. And go buy Jacob's Apartment.
So that was Philip's trailer. I'll remind you guys too, if you want to plug your own stuff on my channel, just record like under a minute of video where you talk about either Jacob's Apartment or 2 stories. And then feel free to mention who you are and where people can find you. I'll run them periodically throughout my live stream. So it's like a nice double promotional thing. It's like a testimonial from my readers, and that helps. And then aside from that, it also is a way for you to advertise your own channel. So if that's something you want to do, feel free to cut a trailer or a promotional. Okay. So this one was going to be Robert looking to his left. This is going to be him hesitating, looking to guests for his approval. So right now I'm going to have this be Robert looking to his left. Robert's going to be here. And I don't need to get into details yet, but What the heck? This is Robert looking to guests for his approval, for their approval. Looking to the guests for his approval. So this will be Robert. Just a tight shot on him. I'll have his hand just kind of down there. And this is going to be guests. So I need to pull up some of my inspiration for that. Just what people would be wearing around that time. I think a little bit of that would be good. This might be perfect. Okay. So now we're going to fill out a little more of the room too. So in this case, the room's going to be pretty much loosely here. At least we can see this much of the room. And through the room, we're going to see the library a little bit. Where's our library? Okay, through that room, you're going to see a library, vaguely. It's going to have chairs and books, bookshelves. Very loose. We're not super worried about all the detail or anything like that. Very loose sketch. We'll have somebody sitting here, perhaps a Victorian lady sitting there. We'll have some guests standing here. This will be one of these gentlemen. And this man is going to be wearing a coat. Sort of standing in anticipation. And then we'll have another person maybe here. Maybe she'll be a little closer. She's going to have one of those strange hats. And we'll see if we can have her have sort of short hair. And she will have old school. She's going to have her arms kind of clasped together like in anticipation almost. Okay, we have our study there. We're going to have the ceiling here. We did have like a kind of ornate ballroom kind of thing going, so it wouldn't hurt to maybe have some of that chandelier from that reference. It's going to help. The chandelier. I know. I'm here all night, guys. I seem to sing that song almost every other time. I also just realized that I have messed up a little bit on my thing here. This should be here. You guys, we're getting through another intimidating page. This is the beauty of just facing the fear head on. Like, this is a page sequence that I was not looking forward to at all. It's like a big room with a lot of things and a lot of actions. It's a little more intimidating than like a small, intimate moment. And a lot of my work is small, intimate moments with like one or two people. Rarely am I drawing like a giant party. And so for me, this is exciting to see that, yeah, just by facing these things head on, I can kind of get some action. Get some action done here. All right. And then this is going to be our heckler, is going to be our fellow to the left. This is going to be erased. And we're doing this a little bit like animation, where we're going to draw over existing sequences. Let's see if we can get our thumbnail somewhere visible. Get my thumbnail some... Oh, how did I dare draw that on my thumbnail layer? Let's move him back where he's supposed to be. Merge down. Okay. And let's get back to our thumbnail and move our thumbnail where it needs to be. So we're going to have this guy as the heckler. This guy is going to be the heckler saying, his arm should be a little bit higher. And again, this is just a rough. So all you need to do really, for a rough is just roughly place in what you're going to have. What's he supposed to be saying? He's supposed to be saying, let's have it, Browning. Let's have it, Browning. All right. So now we're going to just work out this section. Let's have it Browning. We're going to have him standing much more proper now. And we'll find that sketch. Oh my goodness. I think I just keep forgetting to label that layer. That's the sketch of Tennyson. Oh, come on. There it is. And let's see Tennyson's face again. So now Tennyson's going to be standing. Standing normal. I want Tennyson to kind of be almost like jeering at the guy's kind of response. Okay, and what's he got? He's got a very bold mustache. Just this tiny bit of a patch there. Tennyson. Him. And where is his hair going to be? His hair is going to be wild.
Okay, I'll get you a little snack just for now.
I'm going to have Tennyson there. I like the idea of Tennyson's sort of here. Now Tennyson will be, it's a dark shirt here. Tennyson's going to have his arm casually like that. And his hand out still. And he's going to have longer coattails than that. Okay, and we have Tennyson. Sort of casually there. We're going to have the rest of the couch sort of there. I think there's a chandelier. Parlor. Let's move that parlor down so we can see it again. Chandelier at the top. Yep. There is kind of a chandelier thing going on. So a chandelier going up here. And we've got our painting kind of here. Okay, now we have to fill in our Robert. Okay. Let's turn off the parlor. We're going to have Tennyson here. Got our somewhat unfinished people. Now we'll have Robert standing. Robert's going to be about yay tall. Is that too tall? No. So we'll have Robert. You guys, we're almost done with this intimidating page. It's another intimidating page with a lot of flow and confusion on the page. And this is Robert's got his beard here. He has his hair coiffed. Robert is going to be hand on side. Robert is standing up so we can see him. Whoa. Okay, and he's got his sequence standing up. This is going to be the heckler. Going to have this lady smiling. And this heckler is going to be here. And then a little bit just going on with the room. There we go. Now let's turn off our visibility for everything and see where we're at. You guys, I cannot believe this. I thought these were going to take forever. And honestly, in about an hour, we've got the rough for page 53, which is really awesome. I'm going to go ahead and call it for the live stream. If you guys are watching this, please hit the like button before you leave. That really helps people find these live streams later on. And thanks to Keith and Gary and Christopher and anyone else who stopped by the stream. It was fun, and I'll probably be back on to do another in about 30 minutes. But I'm excited. Like I was so intimidated by these pages. I can't explain how when I started, like these just seemed like impossible pages, and yet something about the process of doing these live streams and having to do it live has been really helpful as well. It kind of helps me just get over the fear and just face it and do the pages as I should. And hey, you know what? The cool thing is you're rewarded when you show up to work on comics. It rewards you. And honestly, I think these are some pretty solid roughs. So that's going to do it for the stream right now. And I'll see you guys on the next live stream. Make sure you've hit that bell so you get notified when I'm about to go live. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.